Guys, welcome to this new episode. I know I'm a little bit late, but yeah, this is gonna be our episode. Hopefully, this is gonna be the end of the Foodie app. So we just have to build and build well so that we would not have to continue tomorrow. So yeah, what make we do? Let's start. So let's start. This is IDE, the same thing every day. Yeah, all I have to do is to push this forward and then let's get started. So guys, let's go to our design, look at our design and see how we can get this started with. Phew. So we've been able to build all this, but there are some few fixes that we would have to do. I told you guys I'll go take a look at what we have to do, then we'll finish it. So we have to make sure this is swipeable, and then we would have to make sure that these elements here are also working as they should. Right, so let's jump in here, rerun the app and see if we are on the same page. Guys, today there are some stories that will be coming up today, so don't worry, there is gonna be stories out for everybody to have access to. All right, so guys, this is gonna be hopefully hopefully this might be the end of today's episode, or this today's episode might be the end of the course. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel whilst you await new updates. All right, so let's run the app and see what we got, and then let's see, can you guess the story that we are gonna have today? Today there's gonna be another story. It's just gonna be simple, not any heavy story. It's gonna be a very cool, calm, simple story, right? So yeah, it's good to have you guys on board. Yeah, let me find out. Our ID is running and looking great. So what do we do? Guys, thanks very much for the follows. Yeah, we got our first follower for the day. Is that Garros? Garo OS or Garros 07. Guys, thanks. Let's get started. Right. So on this episode, we have our app. Get started. We're gonna enter our details here. Let's enter our details. Blah blah blah. Yeah, we are not doing any special thing here. So we log in, and then we can have our screens in here. We can access all that. Yeah, but today the focus is going to be on something else, right? Today we are focusing on, we are going to fix what we didn't complete in the previous episode, and we are also going to build. Do we have any new screen to build? Guys, let's see. Yeah, I think we have this crazy screen, right? We have this crazy screen to build. So tonight we're gonna do, or in this episode, we are gonna do a lot more than just one thing, right? So before that, let's focus on some few stuff. Yeah, so we are going to take a look at this element here, and we would have to make sure these items are clickable, right? We have to make sure we can toggle between true or false items in here. So what we go do, or what make we do, you get what I mean? Yeah, right. So what screen is that? That is on the checkout screen, right? So let's go to checkout screen and then enter here. Now the first thing we are going to do is, guys, thanks very much for the follows. I really appreciate all of them. And guys, don't forget to drop that like and also check out the YouTube channel. Yeah, what be the vibe? What be the vibe? Yeah, so we are gonna change these radio items, right? We are gonna change these two radio buttons, and then we are gonna have them in a parent radio something. It's called group radio. So we are gonna tackle that and work on that, right? So let's move all the way up here, and let's see what we have to do. So this is the first item, which is the padding. Right, let's say this pattern is the divider here. So we have pickup and then we have door delivery, and both of them are radios, right? They are radio elements and all that. So what we have to do is to take this off, right? We will take this off. It's not going to have an on change. We will take that off, and then what we are going to do is that these two elements, we are working on the radio, so I want us to finish with it so that we can jump to what we have to do for the day. Yeah, so now we have our expanded and then column. So why do we even have expanded and column? Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, so now we are going to wrap this column. I'm a web developer. Okay, Phantom, welcome to the house. I'm also a web dev, but I'm more into mobile apps on my free time. Not necessarily free time, but I want to make it my hobby. So I just come live and then I build mobile apps randomly. Yeah, so we are going to have this as radio group. If you are interested in learning mobile application development using Flutter, you can check out my YouTube channel for all the videos out there. Yeah, so we are going to have this, and then unchanged, we are going to have a particular value. But the value of this, right, we have to do something now. Guys, thanks very much for the likes. So the value of this is going to be, let's say this is true, and then let's say the value of this is false. Now let's see what we are gonna get. So what we will do now is guys, this is actually a new destin, right? This is like a new widget that was introduced to replace the normal single widgets, which our problem is we can't what you are doing, everything is small. Yeah, that is a issue. You can just expand it if you are watching on your screen, but you can also check out the YouTube channel. Over there you have access to everything. But yeah, you can expand it if it looks very small. Unfortunately, you are using your phone, so yeah. So what we will do is watch it in full screen. Yeah, that should work for you. Whew. So we are going to set the value as is door delivery, right? So the value of this radio group, let's see if it's supposed to have a value, group value. So we are going to have is door delivery. That should be the group value. Then we will set state. We will say is door delivery is equal to the new value that we have here, right? So let's see, yeah, if the value is null. Yeah, so now we can have this. Let's first check that if the value is not null. So let's do this. If the value is not null, then set state and move the group value. So yeah, now we have this. Now let's rerun our app and see if we actually gonna get this done, because I think we should be able to solve this issue before anything else. Yeah, so now yes, in episode 5, yeah, episode 5, we weren't able to get this worked on, but now it is working. The explanation is that now the single radio values, right, the single radio widgets has been changed, and you can't perform unchanged values in there again. So they put them under a radio group widget, which hold the states of a particular value, or the value that is going to be used for the radio widgets, right? So radio group now becomes like the parent for the radio widgets. So it just listens to any radio element, all right, or any radio widget that is inside of it. So as we have radio group like this, the state of any radio widgets can be passed directly to this radio group, and it listens to it. So we have these two radios. All we have to do is that we give them a state where the state of this group be false and this is true. So you click this and this, you click this and this. It's very simple like that. Yeah, so now what we have to do is to make some few changes, then we should be good to go, right? So we have to make sure that according to the UI, when an item is selected, the color is a bright one. Alpha, thanks very much for the follow. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel for the previous videos and all the episodes that we've worked on. Yeah, so we are going to make sure that our active radio looks just like this. That's what we are going to do, right? So let's go in here and then let's edit the radio. So what are we going to look at? We are looking at the focus color. Is that a focus color? Guys, thanks very much for the likes. Don't forget to follow, right? Because that's what is going to keep us going as we build. Yeah, so is it the focus color or something else? Yeah, so let's set the active color to primary. Right, primary bright. So let's rerun and then boom, we have this as our primary bright. Yeah, so if it is inactive, then it's gonna be that gray, right? So let's look for color again and just say background color. Is that gonna be it? Let's see. We just did property. Let's say yellow, just any color to confirm if that is that. Yeah, so we are not gonna use that. So let's search another color value again. Let's search I think that should be it, right? I think that should be it. If we set this, yeah, so guys, that should be it. So all we have to do is to supply this to this as well. Then we can say that we are good to go. So rerun, and then this and this and this, just as we have it on the UI. Yeah, so we are gonna navigate to the next screen and do these changes. All right, we will navigate to the next screen and then add these changes in there. Yeah, so let's go to proceed, and then we are gonna do that on these cards as well. So we would go to payment screen, and then yeah, so payment screen, and then we are gonna go to this. All right, so we have road, radio, blah blah blah, and all that. Phew. Yeah, so let's take this off, and then this is bank account. So bank account can be false, and then where is the next one? We have bank account. The next one should be up here. Yeah, so this becomes true. Yeah, and then the active color of this is the primary bright, and then the active color of this as well becomes the primary bright, right? So the active color becomes the primary bright. Yeah, so Moises developer, it's good to have you on board. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe whilst we watch and enjoy this build. Thank you very much for your comments. Yeah, so what's the next thing we are going to do, right? So we have this radio, which is in this row like this, and this divider like this, and then we have the other radio as well, which is in this row like this. Right, so the parent of this column is going to be the radio group, and then we'll do the same thing that we did for the old one, right? So we are going to have radio group, and then we will drop this in here, then we should be good to go. So when we come here, we are going to do same thing as well. So we are going to create a delivery method. So this should be something else, is bank or payment method, right? So let's create a bool, and let's say is bank payment. Yeah, so is bank payment will be false, and then we'll follow up with the rest. Yeah, so guys, I know most of you are waiting for the story. Don't worry, the story is gonna come, yeah. For now, let's finish with the important stuff, then we can move to stories. Story. Shut up, wait there and family who say one no bagao. Abra boy is many come fuketo. They don't tell me could be not a story. Story, make you tell my story. Say that wait there and family who say one no bagao. Yeah, so this is gonna be primary bright, and this is gonna be primary bright. Yeah, this is true, by the way. All right, so we have this two. Let's go and work on the parents. Yeah, so this column will be wrapped in the active whatever, so radio group, and then we are gonna have this down here. So this is gonna be what is gonna be. It's gonna be A B, what is gonna be? Yeah, so now we have this. We can rerun our app, and then we should have something like this. Yeah. So guys, that is that. I think we've been able to handle this situation perfectly. All right. We've been able to handle this situation perfectly. So we can now move on to the next screen, which would be this element. All right, so now we want to make this element, we want to have it swipeable. We want to be able to swipe it to the left and have something like this. Guys, we want to have something like this, and phew, there's two ways. I was reading online. We have the native way, which is like the dismissible widget, so we can use dismissible widgets to achieve that, but that will not give us the exact thing that we want, right? It's not going to give us the exact thing that we want, because when I was reading, what it does is that it just remove a particular element from the list out, so it doesn't give space or give a room for something like this. Right, so after that I move to another one, which is slidable flatter widget. Right, user, thanks very much for the follow. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel for more updates. Guys, let's drop the likes and reshare this. All right, so I was reading on this, and then this is what we are going to use to actually try to see if we can achieve that. Right, so this is our first package that we are going to add in this particular app. So far we haven't added any foreign package to the app, so we are going to do that. Yeah, so let's go in here, right, clear, increase this. Yeah, so we are going to do flatter pop. We are going to do flatter pop get, and then flatter slidable. Right, so let's have something like this. Yeah, so flatter pop gets flatter slidable. That should actually give us what we are looking for, right? So yeah, add this. What, have you added it already? Wait. Guys, it didn't even load for me to see if it has already added. It was just like boom. Sometimes this machine surprises me, guys. Do we have it in there? I can't see anything. There's no slidable element yet, so I was surprised you told me we have it. We did flatter pop, add flatter slidable. This is what we are looking for. Yeah, so what did I write at yeah, it was the same thing that I wrote. Okay, I wrote get, sorry. Batman, thanks very much for the follow. Batman, welcome to the house. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. Yeah, I have more videos on the YouTube channel, so please don't forget to check it out and have access to how we were able to build this app from the start all the way to this particular section now. Yeah, so guys, we have our slidable. What we have to do is to move back to this particular screen, the others screen, and see if we can make use of this package. All right, let's go. Guys, follow one after the other. Yeah, so this is when we have nothing. Yeah, by the way, I've turned my Samsung S21 into nothing phone. If you guys know nothing, I've changed my phone into nothing. So uh, one day I'll reveal it here, and you guys are gonna see the crazy thing that I did to my phone. Sometimes I can get so bored, and then I'll do some crazy stuff. I'll look at it and be like, really? Is this what I've done to myself? Yet, so I did something crazy to my phone. I'm gonna show it one day. Yeah, so this is what we are gonna focus on, and we are gonna focus on something like this. Kelvin, thanks very much for the likes. Guys, don't forget to follow. All right. Yeah, so guys, this is the thing, right? It is about to get tensions. So let's read the documentation and see if we can have something implemented at our end, right? So flatter side slidable, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and then we are gonna look at something like this. When using it, the first thing is to specify a key. So you specify a key if the slidable is dismissible. Okay, so we'll specify a key. The start action pane is the one at the left or the top side. So the start action, then we gonna have something like this. A motion is a widget used to control how the pane animates. So motion, scroll, motion, that is what it has. And then we are gonna check a pane can dismiss the slidable. So dismissible pane, something like that. And all actions are defined in the children parameter, right? So this is what we are gonna have in the parameter. Whew. A slidable action can have an action, and yeah, whatever it is. Guys, I think we would have to actually build to get the full view of what we are doing, right? So let's jump into the build and see what we would have. So we are going to wrap each element in a slidable, right? So let's take this off the to do, and then let's start our work. Yeah, so each element is going to be wrapped in a slidable, and then we should be able to use that to control whatever data or whatever element we get on our screen, right? So let's call the slidable widget like this. Phew. Why does this one have a child? I thought it has different stuff. So okay, then it has what? This one has a child. So the child is what the user sees when the component is not tracked. Okay, so this is gonna be the child of the slidable, right? So this will be the child of the slidable. So let's rerun, come here and see if we are gonna have any slide effects that we've been looking for. So nothing yet, right, guys? Nothing yet. Okay, first thing first, let's set the end action pane. Right, so let's copy this code and then put it there, but I'm not gonna do that because I want us to build and see how it works. So let's do something like the child first, and then let's do the end action pane. Right, okay, they want the child to be at the bottom, no yawa. So we have this, and then we are gonna have slide action, or what is it? Okay, it's gonna be an action pane. All right, so we're gonna have something like action pane. Guys, it's actually my first time trying this out, right? So don't hold my neck if we make mistakes. Yeah, because mistakes are very good, they help us to learn more. Yeah, so we are gonna have a constant slide motion. We are gonna have something like scroll motion. Yeah, so we are gonna have scroll motion. and then inside of the children we are gonna have something like this. So let's have these two items, text, and then we'll say this will be, according to the UI, we are gonna have like, and then we are gonna have delete, right? So this will be like item, and then we are gonna have another text which will be delete item. Yeah, so we are gonna have these two, and then make our run and see. Oh, something they show, guys. Something they show. Charlie, we get them, or Charlie. Be like we get them. So now we can actually see what we've done, right? So yeah, now we can slide. So the next thing is just to add this element down there, then we are good to go. No libi, no laba, guys. That is that. So let's go to the slidable and see what we can add to it. So what do we have? We can give it a controller. We can have a close on scroll. Yeah, so when we scroll we should be able to close it. And then the action pane, let's check. Can we set a background for it? Because there's a white background there and I don't understand where it's coming from. So we have to remove that background, which is this white. We have to remove that. So that is what I want to check. Let's see. It doesn't have anything like a color touch or whatever, so that might actually give us a little bit of an issue, but let's finish our build before we complain. Let's go through this to see. Okay, slide action. Yeah, so okay, yeah, so the children, right? So this child is gonna be in a childlike slide action. Yeah, so now on press of this child, then we can do something cool, something beautiful, or something sweet. Yeah, so the child of this, what, wait, what is it? It's an icon. So it's asking for only an icon, right? But you can also ask for a label, and that is a text. I want to see if it has a widget. So does it have a widget? It doesn't have a widget. It's only asking for an icon, right? So we can take icon and then we can give it a like. So let's pick our icon data. I beg, icon data. That is what we are going to use. But let's just pick icons like this, and then wait, you ask for an icon, and I want to give you an icon. So why are you, so icons dot this, yeah, so icons dot like, that's gonna be hat, right? Yeah, using the Cupertino icon. So let's give it a heart icon, like according to the UI, let's give it a heart icon looking like this. Okay, so the icon is gonna look like this. This actually doesn't look like it's gonna give us the chance to do a lot of customizations, right? So that is one of the issues that I'm seeing with this thing. Yeah, so it takes context, really. It takes context. Wow, who built this package? Who built this package, guys? Yeah, so this one is gonna be delete. So this is gonna be a delete. Now let's rerun and check this. So now we have these two, guys. We have these two, and I think we can touch it into something that we want, right? So let's first pick this one and see the values available here and how we can actually design it. So we have a foreground color, we have some other stuff, and I think we can yeah, so background color, should be transparent. See, this thing is some way, guys. This thing is really some way. Let's go find a background color that we want to use for this before it comes for our neck. I thought we got the best package that we can customize to our liking, but currently it seems like there is a lot of things that we might not get from here, but we will do what we can and then leave the rest to God. Yeah, even though I've given it the background color from the app itself, the same background color that we are using, but it's still showing or it's still displaying, which is insane, guys, which is really insane. Let's do this and see if that's gonna work. So we just want to get this right and then we can jump into our next stuff. Yeah, so guys, it seems like this is really not ready to give us the chance to customize our items according to our liking. Yeah, this is not ready to give us a chance to customize the items according to how we want it. So it's just giving some. I'm not even happy anymore. I was so happy when we got this. It's supposed to actually ask for a widget that we can use to design stuff in here, but the only element it's asking for an icon and then it's asking for some stuff which is not really what we want. So you guys, although we got the scroll event or we got the swipe event, this is basically what it is giving us, and it's sad. Yeah, it's sad we can't customize it like how we want it. So let's set the border radius to a circular of let's say we want it also 100, and then let's see what we are gonna get. So this is what we are getting, which is not exactly what we want, right? Which is not exactly what we want, guys. I really don't appreciate this. I do not appreciate this in any way, right? I do not appreciate it in any form. That's the truth. That's the truth, guys. I don't appreciate it in any form. Yeah, so we were supposed to get a very good swipe event or a very good swiping functionality, but this is what this particular package has presented us, and we can't fight it since we are not the developers of the package. We only have to manage it. Yeah, so at least we can see that we've gotten our swipe event where a user can like or delete this from the cart. So although it's not exactly what we have on the UI, at least we have something that we can manage. At least we have something that we can manage. So yeah, I think that is that, and then we can jump into the other screens as well. So the two things that we've been able to achieve is to fix these issues, radio issues, and also get our swipe functionality worked on. I know someone is going to say, wow, this looks really good. Although this is not what's on the UI, we've been able to make something, but this is not actually what we are looking for. So unfortunately, we would have to just use it. Yeah, so guys, that is that for the fixes. We are going to the next thing, which is the most beautiful thing. Let's jump in there and check the UI. Yeah, so we are done with all those screens as well. Now the next thing is this screen. The last thing is gonna be this screen, this particular screen. Phew, guys, it's gonna be this particular screen. So let's see how we are gonna do that. Yeah, so if you check up here, we have, oh, thank very much, Cloudy. Wow, it's been a while. It's been a really long time. Thank you very much. Now you can check out my YouTube channel, right? Cloudy, I have a YouTube channel now, and the name is Code Researcher. You can see on the screen. I have a lot of apps in there. You are my boss, so yeah, bosses, and then your junior looking up to you. Yeah, guys, Cloudy is also a developer. He is a Flutter dev. He's very good. So you guys can also check out his accounts and then his videos. Yeah, so what are we doing next? The next thing is for us to build the search screen, right? All right. Booyaka. Yeah, so the next thing is for us to build a search screen, right? And looking at this, if you see this, if you see what we have here, this particular search screen is on a different widget, right? It's not on the same screen as that of the home page. So what we are doing is that we are going to add a functionality, or we're just going to do a little touch to this particular search, so that when we click on the search, we will be automatically navigated to the screen where we can now search for our items, right? So guys, that is what we are going to do. So what we are doing from here, guys, thanks very much for the sharing, the reshare, the likes, the follows. I'll meet how far. Yeah, so let's create a new directory and then let's call it search item screen, right? So search screen, let's just call it this search screen, because this is going to be the last screen for us, and then this is mostly going to be the end of this particular episode, right? So let's call this the search screen, and we are going to create a stateful widget which is going to be the search screen. Yeah, so first things first, import the necessary packages. We are going to import the material package. Whoa, the material package, and then that should be it. So now when we click on this, we should be navigated to the search screen. Yeah. So let's go in there. So we'll go to the home page and look for the search, where we clicking on the search and doing our blah blah blah. That's what we are going to look for. We have the app bar, we have the drawer, and then we have this. So inside of this search bar, we are going to do some few touches. We are going to add some few touches, then that is all. So the first thing is on tap, right? When the search bar is tapped, what do? We are not going to stay on this screen when the search bar is tapped. We are going to navigate to the search screen, right? So navigator.push, and then we would pass the material page route. We'll specify our route, and then our route will be pointing to the search screen, right? So this is going to point to the search screen like this. Yeah, so now that is what we are doing. So let's rerun this. If we click on this, we will now be navigated to the search screen. Now if we go back here, you will see that this particular search button is focused. Why is it focused? We've clicked on the search screen, and we've basically clicked inside of this to navigate to that side, so it's focused, right? And we have to unfocus it, or we have to make it in a way so that we can click on it but it will never get focused. And to achieve that, what we will do is add this particular line. All right, we will set this particular property, which is read only, and then we will send it to true. So that means this particular search box, all right, this particular search bar is going to be read only, which means it cannot get focused. Therefore, when we click on the search, we will be navigated to the screen. If we come back, everything is still going to remain clean and smooth. So click on search, click on this, navigate here, come back, and everything is looking clean and smooth. Yeah, so we are done with this screen, the home screen. Now we can focus on the search screen. Yeah, go in there, and now let's come here. So this screen looks some way, right? The search bar doesn't look like the one that we left. It looks like a whole different thing on its own. So guys, what are we doing? Yeah, so the first things first, are we going to build a search bar first, or we are going to build this element first. Building the elements can be kind of can get crazy. So I want us to build the list one, which is going to be the search bar. After the search bar, then we can move to that one. Guys, it's time for hydration break. Yeah, we are back from the short commercial break. I hope you are hydrated and okay guys, let's get started. Right, looking at the UI for 10 years will not write a single code, so let's get started. So now the first decision we have to make is if we are gonna have this inside of the app bar or we would have it inside of this. But looking at it, I think I'm gonna have it in the app bar. You can tell me nothing. Yeah, so I'm gonna have an app bar like this. So let me rerun this app and let's see what we are going to get. Run this and then you have this nav bar, and then we are going to change the leading icon. We are going to change the leading icon to it's going to be an icon button like this. On press, we are just going back to where we came from, as simple as ABC. So on press, we are going to do navigator.pop. Yeah, take us back to yesterday. So let's take it back to yesterday. Before the war, before the fight. What? Oh, yeah. Because I was confused what I was doing. Yeah, so before the war, before the fight, they give me no funny replies. Where they send me memes for Insta. Me and Kasai, the bed. I see me fry, the answer. Why they say, they need me. Why they treat me like a stranger? So girl, when I'm in love with you, and I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody. Girl, I don't want nobody. And all the things you do. I can sing, but I no get woman, Charlie. I don't wanna live again without you. If you joke, just tell me, say you just they play. Yeah, so guys, we are gonna set the leading width. So I want us to set, and I don't know, buddy. Yeah, guys, I can sing. Go. If I, guys, check my profile, check the rap. I've been doing rap music. I've been singing rap songs and all that. You guys can check it out. Yeah, so we have our leading. The width is very long. I'm gonna set the title. Let me just make it a text, and then I'm gonna call it search bar. That's gonna be the title. So let me have something like this and see what we would have. Why are you not showing? Okay. Yeah, I get it. Sorry guys, sorry. Yeah, so senior, I want to be like you. Yeah, you can be more than me. I've been saying that anytime I pick my PC, right? Anytime I'm live, that is the time for you to also go live, because like I should ginger you to actually learn, right? I should be the motivation for you to code, for you to be building and all that. So what I always want you guys to do is that anytime I go on live, anytime you see me live, it is just a simple call for you to also go live, or not to go live, to also take your PC and start building stuff, right? Don't worry yourself, don't stretch, don't stress over what you want to build, right? Just look for something and build. And I'm telling you that you are gonna really get better, or you are gonna get very good at whatever you do. Just make sure you build every day, you code every day, and blah blah blah. Guys, I'm even talking a lot. All I want you guys to do is to follow my footsteps. My online footsteps. So follow my fingerprints, yeah, and then you'll be good to go. It's no magic, it's just a daily practice. Yeah, so we would have this, and then what we have to do is to take off. We can decide to take off the field color so that we will have this look like this, right? So now this is looking almost like what we have here. Can you see that? If you can't see it, then open your eyes. Open my eyes to see Jesus. Yeah, so after that, what we can do is to set some few stuff in here. We can set, I think, don't we have style for this? Alright, wait, don't we have, okay, we have, I think, decoration, right? No decoration for it. No, go back and see. Give up and see. We have, okay, background color here, so we can change the background color. The background color is going to look exactly like what we have there, right? So the background color is going to be looking like this. It's going to be looking like this. So what we have to do is to put this in widget state property, or like this. Yeah, so this is what we are gonna have. Now we have this. Let's search for fufu. Hey, sorry, let's search for Ghanaian jollof. Yeah, so if we search for Ghanaian jollof, we should be able to have Ghanaian jollof, right? Search for Ghanaian jollof and then you have this. He's searching for spicy chicken. So yeah, all we have to do now is actually style the text in a way to actually to look like what we need, right? So we are gonna look for text style. Text style is gonna be like, what is gonna be the text style? So the font weight, everything has to go into widget state property. Put it in a widget state property, and then let's go down here to text style, and inside of text style, what are we gonna have? We are gonna call font weight. Font weight is gonna be W600. That should be for semi bold like this. Okay, and then the next thing we are gonna do is going to set a hint text. So hint text is search here. Yeah, so that's gonna be our hint text, and then we can also set the hint text style, and we are gonna give it the same thing. All right, I don't think we have to give it the same thing. Yeah, we are gonna give it similar thing. Let's do that. Okay, yeah, so rerun this, and now if we don't have enough elements here, we are gonna have something like search here. So this is our hint, and if we go back and go in there, we are gonna have this saying search here. So now when the user clicks in here, he would be able to run whatever he is searching for. So Ghanaian, Ghanaian, is that Ghanaian jollof, guys. Let's search for Ghanaian jollof, and then hopefully we should find a jollof like this. Yeah, so that is that for the search. All we have to do is to set I think Kesa, right? The Kesa, is that a Kesa? Yeah, I think that's the Kesa. Yeah. Let's see, is it the Kesa or what? Let me search. I think I forgot the name for it. So we have elevation, guys. Thanks very much for the likes, guys. This is like the last episode. This is not like, this is gonna be the last episode for the food app that we are building. I'm back. Yeah, thanks very much for coming back. It's good to have you on board. You are a little bit late, but all the videos are available on the YouTube channel, so you should be able to access them from there. Yeah, so guys, now we are on our search screen. What we have to do is that as soon as we move to the search screen, we automatically make it active, right? So let's set that so that when the user moves from here to here, it's automatically active, and then it feels like there's not going to be break in the user experience, right? So let's say you started searching, you click on the search, and then when you move to the next screen, the opportunity is given to you to start typing. You are not going to have to click here again before you begin typing. So that's what we have to look at. So we would go in here, and then we will set focused, right? Autofocus, then that should be true, right? So if we come down here after elevation, no, let's do autofocus, and then let's make it true. So now let's rerun this, go back here, click here, and now it is auto focused. All right, now it is auto focused, so we can build, right? So another thing I also want us to do is that when the user click outside of the focus scope, we should take off the focus on the button, right? So let's do on tap outside. On tap outside, we are gonna do something like is it focus scope dot of this particular context dot and focus? Is that what we are gonna have? Yeah. I think, wait, guys, I want to check something, right? I want to check something. On type outside is a void function, right? So let's say void function cannot be called to tap region callback. What is that? Guys, I can't remember the method for it. Let me go here and search on tab outside so that we can have a clear view of what we are doing. On tab outside function in Flutter, right? So go in here and look for that, and let's see what it takes. So on tap outside takes an event and then the focus scope. Yeah, so that is what we are doing. Yeah, so let's go back and search on tap outside. So say it takes something like this, the tap event, and then we are gonna call focus scope, all right, of this context, then we unfocus. So now let's rerun that and check if that is gonna work for us. So get started, log in, go in here, tap outside, and then unfocus. So guys, we've gotten our focus issue resolved, and now the next thing for us to do is to build the final screen, the almighty screen, which is this one. This screen is like the almighty, right? This is the almighty. When anytime you are praying and you're on your bed and you say, I pray in the name of the almighty, this is the almighty screen. Yeah, so guys, we are going to build this right now, and then after building this, we can say bye bye to the Food app. We will make the code available. I'll make the code available for you so that you can have access to it, and then run it. Just clone it and then build your own app, manipulate it anyhow you want. That's up to you. Yeah, so what are we looking at? Let's get started. Itafa. So we are done with the app bar. We are gonna work on the body, and then the body is gonna start with single child scroll view. Single child scroll view is gonna have this, which is gonna be a pattern, and the pattern is gonna be in let's put it in symmetric. Put it in symmetric this way, yeah. And then the horizontals is gonna be 24.0 according to the UI, yeah. So now padding is gonna have a child. The child is gonna be a container. The The container is going to have a box decoration, so decoration is going to be of a box decoration. Color is going to be white, and then we are going to have a border radius. So border radius is going to be circular border radius. Confirm from here, and then we are just going to focus on a few ones. So let's call border radius dot only, and then we are going to have top left. It's going to be circular, and I think that's like 32.0. And then we're gonna have top right, which is also gonna be circular, and that should be 32.0. So now let's set the height of this container to be like very long. Yeah, so we're gonna set the height to be very long, and in order to do that, let's do something like height, and then let's say double dot infinity, and then the width is going to take the available spaces on the screen, so that should also be double dot infinity. Yeah, so guys, it's either the app will break or it will work. Rerun. Nothing. So yeah, it's either the app will break or it will work because of the single child scroll view that I have there. So the best way to do this is that this single child scroll view is going to be a child of the container rather. Yeah, that was a mistake that I made, right? That was a mistake that I made. So let's have the height now. Let's change the height to something else. So let's say 500 and see if it's going to display. Are we not doing this on the same screen? Okay, background color to blue. All right, I think I've seen why. Yeah, this particular scaffold. Let's set the scaffold background color, guys. Apologies. Yeah, so this is this, and now we are gonna have the whites for our container. Yeah, so this becomes our stuff. Yeah, so go here, and then you see that we are already in having something looking exactly like what we want, right? So we are going to take this pattern from here. For now, let's pick this. So we are going to take this pattern from here, and now we should have something like this, and then we are going to have to put that pattern inside of this. But before then, let's do the double dot infinity for the height as well. So now we have this. All right, Fancy J Fancy. I don't know if I'm correct. Thanks very much for the follow, guys. We have 300 subscribers on the YouTube channel. 300 crazy subscribers on the YouTube channel, and I'm so happy. I didn't know how it happened. I know it was less than 300 when I checked this afternoon, but before I went live, I just went there and then I realized 300 solid subscribers. So guys, if you're watching this, don't forget to go in there and be the 301 subscriber. Thank you very much. Let's get to work. Yeah, so we have everything set. We have everything looking good. Prof, are you using SJS and web? Boss, I am using Android Studio with Flutter. So this is a mobile app and not a web one. Yeah, thank you, fellow prof. Yeah, guys, so what are we gonna do now? We have everything set. The next thing is for us to set the child of this. No, we don't, not everything is set in here. We need to do this. Let's set the pattern of this particular container, right? So let's do this. Yeah, okay. So after this, we can focus on the children of the container, which are gonna be the best part. Billions. Thanks very much for the follow, guys. Got 6 followers on the channel and on TikTok. Don't forget to also be part of the YouTube family, because this video is basically the last episode for this particular one, and I hope you would access and check from the stats, and also appreciate how far we've come with this. Yeah, so we have this. The next thing is this text. All right, found 6 results. We have to put this text in there, then we'll focus on the last element, which is this, right? So let's set our bold text to the size of 28 and do our blah blah blah. So before that, we will have the text in the center, and then the child is going to be our app text, right? The bold app text, and then the app text is going to have a text, and then the text is going to be a count of the elements that we found. So let's just say 6 items found. All right, so found 6 results. That's what we are going to have, found 6 results. And then the size is going to be 28.0. That's what the UI says. Yeah, so we are gonna have that, but before that, we have to, you guys, thanks very much for the likes. I really appreciate them. As you're liking, don't forget to also subscribe and then follow. Thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'm gonna have you show up again and again and again as we build this app together. Yeah, so this is gonna be 24. Yeah, so we will have, assuming we search for an item, we are going to have something like this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, assuming we search for some item and we found it, then this is what we are going to say. I need to know what you're making, bro. Yeah, so this is a food app, right? This is a food app that we're just building for fun, right? And for learning other stuff. Yeah, you know, as a developer, you always have to learn, you always have to build. There is no time to rest. So yeah, this is the app. This is the starting page, the onboarding. When you move from here, you go to the authentication screen, and all this was built from scratch on live, and all the videos are on the YouTube channel, so you can check it out. When we log in, we come to a screen like this. We have our app bar, our drawer, which lead to other screens as well. We have here where we can have details about a particular product. We have the cart screen where you can either scroll and like and do other stuff with the product. And beyond that, we have the profile screen, right? We have other screens as well. We have the others screen, as you can see, and from there we are now working on the search screen. Yeah, thanks guys. Thank you very much for the like. Thank you very much for the like. I really appreciate it. Is that Mac or Microsoft PC you're using? Because it has clean UI. So yeah, this is a Mac, this is a Mac. Matthias, thanks very much, Matthias Dawood, for the likes, the follow, and the subscription. Yeah, hopefully guys, all of you are gonna subscribe, and then we'll have like 302 or 303 subscribers. Guys, let's get the subscription going. Yeah, so we are gonna build this, right? The reason why I kept this as the last element is because of this alignment or the arrangement of the items. You know, on a normal, we should just have this in a maybe a wrap where we align 2 elements, or we should have it in a grid where we align 2 elements, right? But now we have it in a particular way where it's like one is above and the other one is below. What we can do is, you really deserve my screen. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Thank you for being part of the subscribers. Yeah, so this is what we are gonna do, right? First, we will use a grid and then align the elements, right? We will use a grid and align the elements in the same layout, which means they are going to be well aligned vertically and horizontally. Then from there, we will try to see if we can push. I don't know if that's possible, or we can try it, because I was thinking maybe we can also use a column to do it. right? So we are going to build our own layout style, which means that one element is going to be like this, and then the other one is going to be like this. Guys, I'm getting confused. So let's first get to the build. Whilst we build, then we will see our way around it. Yeah. So below this, we are gonna have a single child scroll view. So let's do that right away. Before that, let's go pick one of this element, right? So we already have this built. We'll just go pick it from the home screen. Tigo free night call. One touch call me back. Ariba transfer. Casa party go. Tigogo. But I want to ask you to know how to make video games and not only mobile apps, but I use this encoding. Yeah, I actually one time I wanted to build mobile apps. I started with Flutter, but I stopped because yeah, the app name, I gave it a name. The name is Foodie because we are just building a food app, so I named it Foodie. Yeah, it's just an app for us, for you, for me, for any other person that wants to have it. So yeah, so one time I was building an app, right? I was building an app for myself, and then I wanted it to have it in a game form, right? So I wanted to build it like a game so that I'll use it and try some things out, but I stopped. It was like I had to do so much reading, although it's not an issue with the reading, but it's just that I have so much to do, and I just have to pause it. Yeah, I have so much in my hands, on my hands. So when I got there, I liked it, but I was like, bro, this is gonna take a lot of time. Yeah, I once used Flutter. I use that. I think it's so complex. Yeah, using Flutter is very complex. Like you would have to do so much for like. I think if I go back, I would be able to actually grasp a lot of things. But for now, I just feel like let me focus on this. All right, and the Python app name. This the Python app name Python. No, we are not using Python here. The app we are building, right? So if it is about the IDE, then I am using Android Studio. If it is about the SDK, then this is the Flutter SDK that I'm using. And if it is about the what again? The app, then this is just a random app that I saw online. I loved it, so I wanted us to build it. Yeah, apart from those few stuff, I really don't know what else we are missing. There's no Python involved. Yeah, so we have this, and let's rerun and see what we have. Boom. Now we have this element. The issue is that now the color of this is not the exact white color that I gave it, right? So we would have to go back to our container, which is here. Where is it? Yeah, I think that's for scaffold. That color is for this color is for the scaffold, which is okay, this is the F9, scaffold is the F2. Right, so where is the container? We have this, and we are gonna have to set the color, right? So let's do color 0xEE, and then this. Guys, thanks very much for the likes. It's really helpful. I really need a favor. I need to speak more about this in DM, please, after the live show. All right, feel free. You can text me, just drop the DM, and then after here I'll get back to you. Yeah, so guys, we have this, but it looks like this particular image have a the container holding the image has a shadow, so we would have to set the shadow. Guys, thanks very much for all the likes. I really appreciate them. They are really boosting the live, so thank you, Army Tafa. Yeah, so we are going to use a black color. Anybody that wants to text, you can text. After here, I would get back to you. Yeah, so we are going to use a black color with this 15, and then we have to set the offset. So let's first work with the blur radius. I'm going to use 32 because I want it everywhere, and I'm going to set the offset to 0 horizontal and then 4.0 vertical. Yeah, so let's see. Now we are gonna have something like this, just as this. Let's see. Yeah, are we good? Yeah, we good. Let's check the drop shadow. We are gonna have this. So this is like the color we are using. 39393939. The blur radius is 16 and this one is 30. So the blur radius is very huge, which is 60, and then the elevation, right, you're gonna have 30.0. So according to the UI, this is what we are looking at. And then the color is not actually black, so the color is gonna be something like this. The color is gonna be something like this. So let's see. And then this is what we have. Yeah, so now that we have this, we are going to build another one. All right, so let's assume that we have this, which is 2 3 4 5 whatever. Yeah, so we have this one, we have to build another one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. Yeah, but I think we would have to touch it a little because the width here seems smaller compared to what we have there. So this like 242 width, when this other one is, what's the width of this? The parent here is like 212. Oh, okay, it even makes sense. C++, C Sharp, and Java is for you. Yeah, so yeah, I did. Yeah, I think. What language is this? All right, Jason. This is Flutter. This is Flutter, developed by Google. Guys, thanks very much for the follow and the likes. Don't forget to also check out the YouTube channel for more videos on this particular app that we've built from scratch. It's yeah. Now I'm thinking about this. How are we gonna achieve this? Yeah, bro, I'm getting used to them. I started using free code cap. Yeah, so you guys should study. You guys should study. You guys should read more. Yeah, so now I'm studying IT at the moment. I'm also thinking of doing software engineering. I can't stop watching this like really. Oh, guy. You should have come yesterday. All right, yesterday I came fully armored. Yeah, yesterday I came fully armored. If you should see me yesterday, you'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? But yeah, it was crazy yesterday. Yeah, last night was crazy, but don't worry. This is a live where we share information, we share some tips, and sometimes stories that you've never heard before. You just code and vibe with it. It's crazy out here. Yeah, so what are we gonna do next, guys? We are gonna use a grid, right? So let's try with a grid. Grid view. Grid view is gonna conflict with this single child scroll view. We are about to have some distractions and let me keep quiet and see if we can let me see if we can I can keep quiet and get this done. Silver grid with fixed cross axis and all that. Guys, so yeah, let's read, let's learn. Cross axis, we are gonna have two elements on the cross axis, right? And then where do you live, bro? So we can talk more about this, please. Yeah, you guys should connect and discuss. So what do we have? We are gonna set shrink wrap to true. Before, okay, let me leave all this so that we can see where the issues are going to come from, and then we'll solve it. So let me leave it this way, rerun, and this will vanish. The reason why the grid has vanished is because of this single child scroll view, right? So the grid itself has a scrolling effect, right? It has a scrolling property, and that helps you to scroll the elements in the grid. And now we also have single child scroll view as a parent, which also have a scrolling property. So now the two of them are conflicting, and that is why the elements are off the screen. So we would have to find a way to fix that, right? So first things first, let's take off the scroll event or the scroll functionality on the grid. So we are going to set physics, and then we will use something called the never scrollable physics, right? Never scrollable scroll physics. So we do that, it's going to be hidden again. If we do this last thing and it doesn't show, then trouble for us. So let me rerun the app. Let's go in here. If that doesn't work, then trouble for us. Yeah, now we have the grid. We have it looking this way. It's looking so crazy. Yeah, so the grid is looking so crazy. The reason why it's looking crazy is because we would have to do something, right? In here, we would have to set this, which is called, what is the name? The child aspect ratio, right? So we would have to set the child aspect ratio. Let's do the child aspect ratio, and 1% gives us this 4 square look. But when we do 0.8, 0.9 and all that, the height of the child gets stretched, right? So let's do this and see. So you see that it's getting stretched and all that. Yeah, so we can have it this way. Yeah, so let's just get the right height for it so that we can focus on another stuff. Yeah, so Jerry, thanks very much for the follow. Guys, we are 16 in here. Imagine we have 16 new people on the YouTube channel. I know most of you have already subscribed, but imagine you subscribe to the YouTube channel and now we are more than 16. I'm going to be so happy. Thank you very much for the subscription. The name is on the screen, Code with Secho. If you are watching on YouTube, if you are not watching today and you are watching tomorrow, thanks very much for the follow and the subscription. Yeah, so guys, we've gotten this. The next thing for us to do is to actually make these children a list of items, right? So this children is going to be, okay, we are going now. Thank you, boss. Yeah, and another thing, I have a WhatsApp channel where I share resources and also I share updates concerning the live. So in case you don't have you missed it, or you are busy somewhere and then by mistake you would miss the live or something like that, I have a YouTube channel, the official YouTube channel, where I share updates concerning the live, and I just be like, you guys will be going live tonight, so don't forget to check it out. Yeah, so now this is what we have, right? This is what we have. The next thing for us to do is just put a little spacing between the elements, and then we are good to go, right? So the next thing we are going to do is to check if the grid have something for us to use. All right, so inside of this, guys, thanks very much for the likes and the follow. So we are going to do the main axis spaces and then the cross axis spacing. Guys, let's do main axis spacing, and yeah, so that's going to be like looking at the UI. The main axis is going to be something small, let's say 16.0. Thank you for the follow, thank you for the subscription, and you are welcome to the house of developers. Akwaba, bienvenue, comment ça va? Yeah, so main axis spacing is a vertical spacing for the element, and then the cross axis spacing is going to be 24.0. So let's try that and see. Now we are going to have our elements like this. But if you're watching from my POV, my point of view, you would realize that the shadow of each element is showing behind another one, and then you can actually see the padding of the element and some blah blah blah, which is not supposed to be so. So we would have to go all the way here and then touch on the shadow, right? So we are going to touch on the shadow here. We would reduce the blur radius. We would either reduce the blur radius, or we would have to reduce everything. So let's reduce this blur radius to 20. We are going to have something like this, and then this particular radius down here, we can also change the color to 0.5. Yeah, so now we would be having something like this. And then the next thing is for us to also reduce this, guys. Sometimes the UI gives you what you are supposed to build, but as a developer you should be able to identify where things go wrong, and then you fix it back. Yeah, so guys, now we are having this. As you can see, we have our UI looking exactly like what we have on there, right? This is the beauty of building with me. I will be talking, I'll be making you giggle before you know the work is already done. Yeah, so let's rerun this and see what we would have, right? So the almighty design that we were crying over, we were like, how long is it gonna take us to build? We've already gotten it. Now the next thing for us to do is to do that particular padding, the element padding. We have to make sure that it's a little bit pushed below the other one, right? So the right elements have to be a little bit pushed below the top ones, so it's gonna stand like this. Yeah, like a lady that's, those of you that are in a relationship, when your woman adjusts herself when she's angry with you and she's like, babe, I don't know, I'm not in a relationship, so I've seen some before, so yeah, I'm just picking it from there. Yeah, so let's make this 32. Now what are we, okay, why did the image pushed down, right? So what we have to do, this particular image is too big. 128 for the image is too big. This one, the circular one, is too big, so we would have to reduce it to maybe 118, right? Because it's too huge. 118. Then even that one safe, guys, just give it 80 and half piece. Now 82 looks too small. Oh my god. Yeah, and then we will reduce the ratio of this one. We reduce this to, we'll increase it to 0.7. So now we should have something like, 65. This is my first time. I think it's web development. Yeah, you thought right, but unfortunately this is no web development, this is mobile app development. Sorry. Yeah, so this is a mobile app development, and you are welcome to check out the YouTube channel and also the other videos that we have concerning mobile app development. Thank you, my boss. Yeah, guys, I think we are going back to yesterday, which is this. So let's take it back to yesterday, before the war, before the fight. You know, they give me no funny replies. Why they send me memes for Insta? Mankasai, you know they bad. Why they say, you know they need me? Why they treat me like a stranger? I didn't. Thrift control. What's up, bro? Are you a bro or a girly? Are you a clock it or you are? Are you a clock it person or you are bro code? Are you a sister code or a bro code? Alright, thrift control, it's nice to have you on board. It's like the sisters don't like software, right? So they come and then they run away For all the sisters that we have in here, you are welcome to the house of developers. Yeah, so guys, now let's do the final thing, right? As I'm talking, saying a lot of things, I'm just thinking about how we can achieve this. So let me first do an experiment. If it works, then we'll try it out. We like it like that, bro. I like it like that, guys. It's like we have a bro in the house, and he has gone through, he's gone he have gone through a lot of broken hearts, right? So currently he doesn't want the girls in the house. The boy says they want the girls, so Charlie, how we go do one? Yeah, so bro is saying that he likes the fact that we don't have any girl in the house, but the other bros too are saying that they want girls. So how we go do one, Charlie? I they say no do one, you go carry your heart give woman. Now they break your heart. Sorry, bro. I sure say name no be Vera. Like we go do oh Vera. It be you where you do me like that. Do you have full courses on YouTube, and can I get a WhatsApp contact? Yeah, I have a full course on YouTube concerning mobile application development. Yeah, guys, welcome to the house and the following and everything. Yeah, I'm streaming live on YouTube right now. You should check out the channel Code with Secho, and we have a full course as well. And then you can use that to also check out the videos that we have. Yeah, thank you guys, thank you very much. So guys, I'm trying to actually achieve something, right? That's why I'm talking a lot, because this particular section is very let me say, yeah, thank you very much, bro. I come live every evening, right? Whether I'm feeling good or not, whether I'm like blah blah black sheep, are you feeling good? If I'm not feeling good, I come live. If I'm feeling good, I come live. So yeah, thank you guys, thank you for the follow, thank you for the like, and thank you for the reshares. I'm trying to achieve something, but that thing is not working, right? I'm trying to achieve the pool. Okay, Waddle. Okay, Waddle from software engineering. Is that a Waddle I know? Waddle, now you be that. Yeah, so guys, I'm trying to achieve something. Okay, welcome, big brother. Welcome to the house. Guys, I'm trying to achieve something, right? The problem is that the item that is supposed to move is not moving. So we have the sized box, right? We have the sized box. And what I want us to do is that we give this particular element some padding. And then if we are able to push them downwards, then we will be able to actually achieve this, right? Because if we are able to push all of them downwards, then that means that we can use we can write just a small function, a very short function, a one line of code function, to actually achieve this particular layout. But what I'm getting right now, it's giving me some red gold green sign B, saying that hey, you can't get that using this particular method. So let's get busy, right? So let's analyze this. We have this size box, right? We have this size box. If we wrap each size box in a container and give it a color, let's say a blue color, then we should have, guys, UD, thanks very much for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Please don't forget to check out my YouTube channel, right? Don't forget to check it out, okay? Thank you. And when you get there, don't forget to subscribe, because you are going to come back again and again and again and again. Yeah, so guys, I am looking at something. I'm looking at how we can actually achieve this, right? So we have this. If I change the main axis spacing to 40, guys, thanks very much for the follow. I really appreciate all the follows and then all the supports that you guys are giving. Yeah, so if we change this, I want us to do something. Now, if we add a margin to this particular container, right? If we give it a margin, let's say only the top margin, so let's do only top, which is, let's say, 32. So we have 32. If we try to move 32, it doesn't go down. I know it's because we are using the grid, but it doesn't go down. And then we have this for the grid. That is what we have, right? Now what I'm trying to achieve is that when the food index, right, so now we are going to change this from this particular map into a list so that we can have access to the index of each element, right? So we'll just cut this like this, and then we are going to replace all this with list dot generate, and then the length is going to be the length of this, and then the generator is just going to be, we are going to replace the generator with an integer index, and then we return something like this. Before we return, we can create a final food, which will be the index of the dummy foods, right? So a food with this index becomes that food. Then now we can return this. Yeah, so now we have this, right? What I want us to do is that given the margin, when we are given the margin, right, if oh sorry we are going to say index, right? So let's check that the element is first in the right direction. So we can write a boolean like this. We can write a boolean, so we can write a final bool and call it is right element. So it's aligned to the end, the right or the end, right? So that would be that the index, right, of this particular element, the index of this particular element, so let's say index divided by 0 is equals to divided by 2 is 0. So we'll say that means the index of this divided by 2 is equal to 0. So that is what we are doing, right? We are saying that if this element is the right, is aligned to the right side, then that means that each index divided by 2 is 0, which means this will be index 1, and then this becomes index 2. So index 2 divided by 2 is 0. Kelvin, thanks very much for the follow. Please don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, right? Guys, thanks very much for the follow. I really appreciate all of them. We have beautiful videos on the channel. So let's analyze this and get the right alignment. So we have 1, 2. This is an odd number. This is of an odd number. So divided by 2, we are not going to get 0. This is 2. So divided by 2, the remainder will be 0. This is 3. Divided is going to be 0, and then that. So is it going to be modulo or first? So let's try this first. If it doesn't work, then we will check the next one. So let's say it's, sorry, top. So we'll do is right element 64 else do 0. So if we rerun, we are going to have something like this. Yeah, so we are going to have something like this, right? But it looks like so let's do index modulo. So index modulo 2, it's equal to 0. So let's rerun this, and now we have this. Now we have this. So where does the first element start from? Because with modulo should give us the remainder, right? Modulo gives remainder. Is that not it? Modulo modulo arithmetic, yeah. So modulo, often called clock, it's a system of match where numbers wrap around the face value called the modulo instead of modulo in Flutter. Yeah. So it's a number and then returns the remainder of, yeah, so that's what it does. Yeah, so the modulo operator, Euclidean modulo is a number by the other, returns the remainder of the Euclidean division. So that's what it does. If we go further, we would say int result 1 is 10 modulo 3, so it returns 1, which means the remainder is 1. That is what it is doing. Yeah, so now we have this, and we are saying the index modulo 2 has a remainder of 0. And then these elements are showing, which means that the wrap element is starting from here. Really? Wow, so that's crazy. If we have it this way, then now we have this. But what we are trying to achieve, I'm not sure we would ever achieve it with this wrap, with this particular widget, right? I'm not sure. There's no way we are going to achieve this design using the grid widget. So it's either we are going to look for another widget to do this, or we would have to find another way. But there is another widget that we can use to get this. So let me go there and then search this particular widget, right? We have a dynamic grid widget. We have a dynamic grid widget that we can use in Flutter, right? So grid widget in Flutter, and we should have what is the name? I think it's not dynamic row grid. No, it's not a dynamic row grid. There is a name for it. There's a name for it. It's the most efficient of the grid items and demand lazy loading and just scroll into the view, make it perfect for dynamic fetch APIs. No, so dynamic item height, right? Dynamic item height grid. Yeah, I forgot the name for it. That's why I have to search and then find it. So yeah, Flutter staggered grid view. That should be it. Yeah, so this is what we need here. Yeah, so let's look for it and then go find it out. For a traditional align grid where each row adjusts its height to match the tallest item, the dynamic height grid package is recommended. Item count 20 cross axis and grid. So dynamic height grid, it's also something that we can use, right? So let's look for something like dynamic height grid in Flutter. Guys, we are ending this today. There's no way we are coming back to it tomorrow. Alright, there's no way we are coming back to it tomorrow. Thank you very much for the like. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the like. Bosses, you guys are my bosses, so I really appreciate your follow, your like, your subscriptions. Guys, the subscriptions, right, is the most important part of everything. The subscriptions. Yeah, so we have this particular grid. When you want to add this Machiavelli, thanks very much for the likes. If you want to add a package, you have to check the scoring from here to make sure that everything is correct. It's been supported by the current Flutter version and all that before you go in. So this one, the only issue is that it doesn't have enough documentations. So that's only the issue, which means we can use it. And grid view with dynamic height, so you no need to use aspect ratio. All right, that is okay. That is cool. I think that is cool, right? So dynamic height grid view, and then we will call this item count cross axis builder index, and then return your widgets here. So that should be what we are using for, right? So let's go and then add something like that, guys. Phew. Grow, and your bullet are your counting machine. Yeah, so we are going to do Flutter pop add dynamic height grid view. Yeah, so is that it? Is that a name? Dynamic height grid view. Dynamic height grid view. Flutterpop are dynamic. Hey, dynamic. That's what I wrote, guys. Dynamic height grid view. Huh, guys, we are almost done. Great. So after adding that, let's get, and then we can move on. So let's do flutter pop get. Guys, we are almost 2 hours into the live, and that should end it for us. Yeah, so instead of this grid view, we are now going to use the dynamic height. Where is it? Where is it? Dynamic height grid view. Is that not what we are going to use? Should we try importing it and see if we are going to have it? Import dynamic height grid view. It's not here. What did I add? Guys, what did I add? Yeah, we have dynamic height grid view. So why am I not getting it there? We have this, and then we are just trying to add it here too. We have, guys, Mr. KK, thanks very much for the follow. I really appreciate it. The YouTube channel, we are live on there, so don't forget to check it out and be part of this particular process. Guys, I need to have the dynamic height grid view, and I can't find it. I don't know where it's wait, it has run to. I don't know where it has run to. So let's say this. I tried importing it to, and we can't have it. Like, we can't have it. Where is it? Let me copy this and drop it here. Let's see. Maybe it will be forced to actually import it if it exists. It's not here too, guys. What have I not written right? Let me see. So flutter pop at this, and let's see. Yeah, it's already in there. So why are we not getting it? Okay, see. Yeah, so now we have this, and it has 3 required fields. It has the builder, it has the item count, and then the cross axis count, right? So this looks pretty cool, and then this should actually make our life better compared to what we're doing at first, right? So the item count is just going to be the dummy food dot length, and then the cross axis count is going to be 2 elements, and then in this we are going to have a list dot generate. So we are going to have something like this. So we would pick this, and then we are going to close this, and we should have something like this. Then we would return this. Wait. Okay. We return column, right? Yeah. Then we are going to return children, and our children should be the list. Yeah, so guys, we have this. Now let's see what we can get from here. It is scrollable. Scroll physics. Let's set the scroll physics. Let's set the scroll physics. Guys, okay. Yeah, physics, sorry. So we are going to use the never scrollable physics, and let's check the moment of truth. The moment of truth. it's gone because we are using the single child scroll view. You get it? Yeah, so now let's see if we can get something to actually take care of that. We have the shrink wrap, so shrink wrap should be through, and now we should rerun and then have our elements looking good. Blah 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 black ship, are you feeling good? Are you feeling good? I swear. Blah blah black ship. Yeah, so now we have this is actually looking good. I'm laughing because I know what's about to happen. I'm laughing because I know what's about to happen, guys. Now we don't have to use margin again. What we have to use for this container is actually the sizing, right? So we would have to set the container height, the container's height. So if we do height and then we say the height should be 120, we are gonna have something like this. Oh, is that too small? Let's say the height is 400 for each container. Yeah, so assuming this is the height for each container, right? We are gonna have to do something crazy. We're gonna have to do something crazy. So we would actually take this height off, and then the height should be the height of the size box. So let's make it 600 and see. So now we have this. Still, there is something we would have to do. What I want us to achieve, right? It's not exactly what I'm getting. So the thing they bore me. When we increase the height, it affects this in here. It affects that. So I think we would have to find a way to make sure that the stack has a fixed height and then it doesn't move anymore. I think that's what we have to do so that the change of height will not be affecting this particular element, right? So what we are doing is setting this, right, setting this particular thing to the top and bottom and all that, and that is causing the issue. So what we would do is that we are going to ignore this for now and then do something crazy, something beautiful that will actually solve our issue. So now in setting the height, we would do something like is right element. If it is the right element, then the height is 400, else the height is 0. So now let's see. What? Something that's supposed to work for us. If this doesn't work, then guys, we are gonna have it as it is. It's not working. It is not working. Yeah, so let's say index equals 1. Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys, oh my god. Oh my god. So the problem with this is that a change in a single element is affecting all other sections of the grid, right? A change in the height of a single element is affecting all the other sections of the grid. So that also has a side effect, which means we would have to resort to checking out the last grid, which is the target or whatever grid, right? So let's go in there and search for the target. I think it's something like this right here. Target grid in Flutter. Yeah, so we are gonna look for the target grid view and then use that. Yeah, so that is gonna be the last thing that would have to resort to, because Charlie, it's just not what we are looking for. So target grid view dot count builder, cross count is 3, item count is this, target builder tile is this, and then yeah, so the target builder tile is this, item builder is gonna have this. Oh guys, so we are looking for something like this, right? We are looking for something exactly like this, and that is what we are gonna make use of, right? So let's go in there, pick it again, come back and try to see if it will work, right? So let's use the Flutter target grid view and see if it's gonna work for us. Yeah, so this two is not exactly what we are looking for, so we would have to check another one. Guys, I want us to achieve the exact design, right? The exact design by the UI designer, and that is why I don't want to give up on this. I want us to achieve exactly what the UI designer designed. Phew. So let's comment this out, and then let's call this particular widget, which is gonna be the, what's the name? It's gonna be target grid tile.count. So that's what we are gonna have, right? Yeah. Yeah, so let's go in and see what we have. So let's call the target what's the name? Wait, have I done the Flutter pop get? Yeah, let's get first, and then from there we can call the target grid tile or target grid tile dot count, right? So let's search for the target grid count dot tile, so dot this, whatever. Yeah, so we are gonna do the cross axis count, which is 2, and then the next one is gonna be what else is it gonna be? It's gonna have children, right? It's gonna have children. So let's create the children, and then let's use a few of these things, right? So let's use this that we have in here. So I'm just gonna pick this and then use it for now. Let's make sure we have exactly what we are looking for. Then from there I can move on and then build what I have in mind. So we are gonna pick this as the children. Hey. If you're not gonna give us a chance, then we'll just move on and then use our own thing. So we can have a target grid count, whatever tile. So target grid tile dot count and blah blah blah. When we come here, we will have the grid view, and we're gonna have the children as the cat tile. Where is the cat tile? Okay, so that is the cat tile. So it's gonna have a grid count, blah blah blah. All right, so yeah, so let's do the grid count dot tile, right? So let's use the target grid tile dot count. All right, yeah, so we're gonna have something like this, yeah. So the cross axis cell count, cross axis cell count, why is it doing 4 and make axis 2? Let's start with 1, bro, and then main axis 1, and then the child is going to be a container. We're going to give it a height with 200. Richie K, thanks very much for the follow, guys. I read that, be why I know they see the screen top. Guys, I read, so I know they look on the screen. Yeah, so let's go in here and then try build this and see what we are gonna get. Yeah, so we have this. We have this. Now let's change this to main axis cell count. So if we do 2, it's gonna have this. All right, and then if we do cross axis cell count as 2, it's gonna look like this. Okay, yeah, so we'll give it 1. All right, so if that is the first child which is having 2, then we are gonna put the next child which should be having, which should also be having the 2, right? The next child should also be the same thing like this. All right, the next child should also be the same thing like that. So we are going to do the cross axis spacing. We are going to have the cross axis spacing, which would be what is it going to be? 24, right? So we are going to have this as a spacing. All right, so in having this as a spacing, the next thing we are going to do is that we would have to check this. So let's go back to our grid, our previous grid, and check the height of it. So let's look for that sized box. The width is 112 and then the height is 300. So let's look for the 300 height, right? So the height is going to be 300 like this, and then that. So the main axis, let's set this. We have this, and then we have this. All right, so the main axis cell count is 2, but the cross axis is 1. No, the cross axis is 1, and then this is also 1. So let's see, we are gonna have something like this. But the issue with this is that we might not end up having exactly what we are looking for, right? Because it's like the children are aligned in a particular grid which we might not have access to. Because it seems the height is not even concerned about the height we give to this. It's only doing its own thing, which is kind of crazy because you can't tell us what to do, right? We need to have that dynamic height, and that is what we are looking for. So fit, if we use fit like this, let's see, it's fitting the children, the height of the children. Okay, if we use the other one as extent, it's gonna require something like main axis extent, right? So the main axis extent is gonna be something else. This is actually my first time trying this, right? So let's say 400. Then we have this. If we do 300, then we have this. Yeah, so guys, I think we can now make use of this to actually get what we are looking for, right? I think we can make use of this to get what we are looking for. So what happens if we add another child? What happens if we add another child like this? Then we are gonna have this. Then we can do the spacing, right? So we have cross axis spacing, we can have main axis spacing, and that should be the 16.0. Yeah, so we have this. Why? Yeah, so now we have this. Okay, so the next thing for us to do, right, what we are going to do is that we would duplicate this multiple times and then try to use it and see what we are going to have. So we would have one of this, we would have this like this, and then let's add one of this to the next side, right? So we have this, and then this one is extend. Okay, I think it's the same thing for this, right? So let's use the extent for all this. Let's see now. Yeah, so all of them are the same. Let's use 300. Is 300 working? Sorry, this should be 400. Yeah, so now the height of the container is no more determined by whatever thing we set, right? It's being determined by this. So even the container's height does not even matter anymore in this particular site, right? Or in this particular section. So even the width of the container doesn't matter. So guys, that is what we will be looking at, and that is what we are going to use to achieve our fix, right? So let's do this and then let's drop this. Phew. Now this becomes scrollable, and this is a good news because it's like I'm already getting the idea of what I've been looking for, right? So someone might be like, yeah, what you are doing doesn't really do anything, but yeah, I can tell you that it really does something. Yeah. Now what we are going to do is that we would replace the child of the container, right? We are going to replace the child of the container. Oscar, thank you very much for the follow. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well for more videos like this. Phew, this is the last episode, guys. So this episode is an episode, the grand finale. So it doesn't matter if it takes long. We just have to finish what we are supposed to do. So now each container is gonna have a child, right? So let's start from this. Yeah, the height of this does not matter anymore, so we can have something like this. And then each container having a child is gonna have something like this. So let's do child. The child is gonna be column, and then the main axis alignment of the child is gonna be to the end, right? So let's do something like this, and then the children would have something like a text. So rerun this, and then we would have this text down here. This is looking good. This is looking good. Yeah, the next thing we are doing, right? The next thing we are doing is bringing these children all the way back to that side, right? So let's uncomment this, and then we are going to pick the child of this gesture detector, and then this sized box, right? So we are picking this particular sized box like this, and then we'll comment it back. We don't even need it, so we'll delete it. Now let's go back and replace that with this. Let's see what we will have. So now we have this, guys. Now we have this, and this is looking good. So let's copy same thing. Let's copy the same thing and give it to this particular container, right? Let's change this container to something like this. Now we run this, and then we'll have something like this. But the reason why we're having an issue with this is because of the height. So instead of that, we will make this 400. So with the 400 height, that means we can have our elements like this. And since it is 300, we can change this to 380. Then we should now have something like, I think, 320. So we should now have something almost looking like this. Can you see? Now you are getting the image, right? You get them, you feel them, you feel them. Yeah. So now we have something like this. We have something like this. Oji lele, oji kelele, boom boom, moya toto. Yeah. So now we have this, and all we have to do is to bring back the idea of what we started with. So with these children, we are going to make it the list. All right, we are going to make it the list style. So let's do that right away, and then let's see what we are going to have, right? So Let's just take one of this. Let's just pick one of this. I can pick this if I want. So I'll pick this, and then I'll go down here, and then generating the children, I'll use list.generate. I'll use the dummy foods.length, and then I'll change this to be the index, and then I'll come down here, then I'll create a final food. So final food is gonna be equal to the dummy elements, all right, the dummy foods index, something like this. And then down below that, I'm gonna create a final bool. Sorry, I'm gonna create a final bool, and then I'll call it is end item, right? It's aligned to the end of the screen, so that's gonna be like the index of this item, right? Modulo, the index modulo 2 is equal to 0, which means that the index of this item divided by 2, or modulo 2, should give a remainder of 0. Yeah, so that is what we are doing. Then after that, we can now return this container as we have here. So yeah, that is what we have. Let's go down here, and then for the food, we are just going to replace this with the name of the food. So yeah, we'll have food. So rerun the app, we should have a list of a long list of these foods, and then we should be able to scroll them. Yeah, so now we have the list of our food, right? What do you think we are going to do? We are going all the way to the top to set the height of this particular boxes, right? So now what we are doing is that if it's end item, right? So it's end item, then the height should be 360, right? The height should be 360, else the height should be 300. So let's rerun and see if we would have that. So now we have this, but now you can see the issue, right? The elements. Now you can see how the elements are being aligned. Instead of only the right elements aligning, the guys, this is gonna be crazy, right? This is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy. So it starts aligning from here. So if we should change it back to remainder not equals to 0, then it goes this way. Now we have this. Can you see that? Yeah, so the last thing we are going to do, as you already know, is to take off this color, and now we can remove this container, and now the moment of truth is this. Bah, bah, bah. In my language, we call this bah, bah, bah. Right, guys, so with Pakpakpa and Inshallah, we've been able to achieve this design in different iterations, different tests, different trials and tribulations. With different trials and tribulations, we've been able to achieve this UI exactly as what we have here. So now you can see, guys, you can see that it is looking good. Right, let's change this to 32 and see how it's gonna look like. Yeah, so now you can see that our UI, our design, is looking good, and it's looking exactly as what we have on the screen. But I just realized something. Why are those one pushed so much to the bottom? You're not supposed to go this deep, bro. You're just supposed to be hanging at the top. I don't know, it's like it keeps increasing. It's not supposed to go that deep. You're just supposed to hang somewhere close to your fellow products. Yeah, so guys, this is what we have. The first few ones are kind of looking exactly as what we have here, but the more it goes down, it seems like the more the size increases. I don't really get why, but yeah, that is what I just witnessed. So you can see that the more it goes down here, the more the size increases, the spacing. The more the spacing increases, which is kind of. So what we are going to do is to take off the main axis spacing, since we are already handling that. So let's try something like this and see. We have this. We have this, and the spacing is still like, it feels like it's still increasing, right? Feels like it's still increasing, which is not exactly what we are looking for. It's not exactly what we are looking for. Yeah, but all the same, we've been able to actually achieve this design. It took us a lot of time, it took us a lot of trials and tribulations, but we've been able to achieve a design like this inside of our app. Guys, isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So I think I am still feeling like there should be something more. All right, there should be something that we would have to do to actually achieve something. Right, there should be something more, something to achieve something. So if we do container and color and do red, now let's see, we are gonna have this and this. And looking at it from here, it seems the height is not so crazy. Yeah, it looks like the height is kind of cool, but I don't know, it just keeps increasing as it goes down. Yeah, looks like it keeps increasing as it goes down. Seeing it from here doesn't look like it is going it is increasing, but without the white it feels like it increases, which is crazy. Does it increase or decrease? And most of you are saying it increases. Yeah, so guys, this is our design, this is our screen. Look at it from here, compare it to this, and we are good to go. What we can try to achieve down here is to increase the shadow a little, so that yeah, we can see how big or how small the shadow is. Yeah, we can increase the shadow a little, but I don't want it to, because I can actually see some lines down there that I don't want us to see. What I can do is to actually push it away, but that too is going to be an issue. So let's go back to our 5, and then this should be enough. Yeah, so guys, let's go back into the app, look at everything that we've done, and then we can say bye bye to the Foodie app. So close this app, break everything, and then let's review what we've done from the beginning all the way up here. So we were online, and then normally I go online and then I build apps. I just build any app that I feel like this looks good, let's build it, right? So we went online, and then we got this app, which is a food app. The UI is so clean, so modern, and so beautiful that I decided to build it, and to build it with you guys. So we took it, and then we started from here, we move on to here, and then we move all the way to this. So we started from the onboarding, we moved to the authentication screen, right? We started from onboarding, which is this, and then we move to authentication, which is this. Then from there we move to the home page, which is all this. And then just after the home page, we move to the nav section, which is the drawer. So we built the drawer. After the drawer, we move to the user profile, and then we built this profile. We built this history. This office is not complete, so we left it undone. and then we built this orders screen. Yeah, so after the order screen, we move to the next screen, which is this one. We move to this screen, and then we built the cart, we built the delivery screen, we built the payment screen, and all this, which is okay. Then we built the detail screen of each product. So when you tap on a product, you're given a screen like this where you can view the details of the particular product. And this, as you can see, was the last thing that we built. This here, which is this, is just a list that we add if we want to do the checking for maybe searching an item and all that. We can just use the list. We will contain we'll search if the item name contains this, then show it, else if none, then say item not found, and then we'll have this internet connection thing too. Yeah, so that is what we've done, and that is what we've built in 6 episodes of this particular video. So now let's go into the app and confirm that everything is looking just as it is in here. So this is the almighty app as we have. Now the next thing we are going to do is to start running it, and so let's run. Phew. Here comes the bride, here comes the bride. So we have this, and then we have this, as you can see on the UI. So this is the onboarding screen. When you get started, you are taken to the authentication screen. You either log in or you sign up. There's no screen for sign up, so we start to log in, and then we have the forget password button. After, the next thing is to log in. When you log in, you are brought to the home page. We have the app bar, we have the cart icon, and then we have the drawer icon. Below that, we have the search, and then we have the category icon where you can actually select a particular category, and then the food under that category should be displayed. We have the see more, where you can be taken to the list of the screens where you can see more of these items, right? So below that, we have the nav bar, and then the bottom nav bar is where we can actually toggle between different screens on the app. But since those screens are not there, we are sticking to only the home page, but we had to build that functionality in there, so we added it anyway. Yeah, so that is that for this screen. Now let's start from here, the app bar. When we click on the drawer icon, we are presented with a screen like this. So this becomes the drawer. We have the profile, the orders, the offer, the privacy, security, and then the sign out button. All this worked on. Now when we click on profile, we can have the profile screen. There's no detail screen for this, so we start with this. Yeah, so when you click on that, then you can go to orders. There's no order, so we are stuck with this particular one. When we move, we can go to offer and promo. There's no screen for offer and promo. There's no screen for privacy and policy, and there's no screen for security as well. So we can say we are done with that. Yeah. Now when you click on a particular item, you are taken to the detailed view of this item. So you have a list of other images that is in this item, or a list of the item's image. You have that, the name, and then the price, and then below that the delivery information, and then the return policy concerning the item. You can add to cart, or you can like it. Yeah, we note there is no state management in here, so things are not being handled. Yeah, so you can go back, and then from there we can move to the cart screen. If there is no item in the cart, we've built that screen. We'll show you that there is no item. But if there is an item, then you are going to have this screen, which is orders. So what you do is that you can either add an item from here or reduce an item. Also, a state is not involved in this particular app, so there's no state changed. Yeah, so when you swipe to the left, you have the option to either like or delete from the cart. So you like, and then this, or you delete, and then it will be taken off the list. Yeah, so when you complete the order, you'll be taken to the delivery screen where we have your location and everything and your number. You can click here to change the details. There's no screen for that, so that is that. And then in there below this, you have the delivery method. So you can do either door-to-door delivery, or you do a pickup. We give you the total price and then you proceed to payment. When you come to the payment, you decide the payment method that you are using, whether it's a card method or a bank method. And then the delivery method, you can still pick from here, whether it is door-to-door delivery or pickup. From there, you can still proceed to payment, and then that should be confirmed payment, but we are doing according to UI, so it says proceed. So in here, you either have you have just a summary of what you are doing. So delivery to mainland is this, and delivering to island is this. You can either proceed or you cancel, go back and make changes that you love to make, or you can just proceed and then your order will be processed and they will be taken back to the home page. So that is that. And then from there, if you want to search for an item, you click this, you'll be taken to the search screen. So on this screen, you get a chance to search for an item like Ghanaian fufu, right? And then within your search or through your search, you should be able to have access to a list of items. If the item is available, we tell you it is available. If it's not, we show you there's no item available. Below that, we have the list of these items, which you can scroll between them, and then on any of them, when you click on it, you'll be taken to its screen and then you have access to it. Any question? No question. That's great. Yeah, so guys, we've been able to achieve this. Thanks very much. I am the Great Wonders. Thanks very much for the follow. Thanks guys. Thanks for the subscription. All of you that have subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. I'm going to make the code available on the playlist. So inside of the playlist, I'm going to make the code available. I would want you to just clone it, have access to it, and then check it out for yourself. This is an app that you can use for your school presentation. You can actually build on this, add a little bit of touch to sell it to someone that needs it. Maybe a small company wants to have this app and then use it for their delivery and all that. You can add a little bit of a back end state management and UI touches to it to make it work. So it's an already built app that you can actually take and then use for whatever you want to use it for. Presentation, school projects. Most of you are students, you can pick inspiration from here, use it for your school projects and all that. The UI is beautiful, and this is my favorite part of the UI. So guys, that is that. We've been able to complete our food app. We've been able to build a full and complete full app in 6 days. That's 6 days. I think 2 hours each, so that should be like 2 times 6. Yeah, so in 1 day. Yeah, so I think in 1 day we've been able to actually build this app fully. The next episode is going to come tomorrow. We would pick another app and continue building it. The playlist is available for this particular one, so don't forget to check it out, guys. Don't forget to check it out. Yeah, so I'm going to see you in our next episode. I'm going to see you in a new playlist, which would be more than just this. It's going to be something crazy. As usual, we'll go online, pick the design, and start building. If you are watching and you haven't followed yet, please follow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I want us to actually hit, we are in July, right? I want us to make at least 500 subscribers before we complete July. We have 300, so we have 200 more to go. I don't know where they are gonna come from, but I believe we can make it count. So guys, let's watch the videos. Let's join, and then be, don't forget, code until you can't remember your name.